which is really exciting. There's a lot of energy and excitement from really the presidency all the way down to the state house and the courthouse. So I've been out at the polls greeting volunteers, which I love to do. So yeah, there's a lot of excitement going on right now.
Perfect, thanks. And for anyone who just joined, this is Gopal Ponangi. I have the privilege of speaking to Representative Matt Shaheen. Matt has been serving the community since the last 3 terms as the state representative for District 66. And then he is running for re-election. And as you may be aware, elections are underway. The early voting is going on. The last day for early voting is this coming Friday, and then the actual election day is 3rd of November. While it is very important for us to figure out who will lead our country from your policy standpoint and all, it is also very, very important that you have a representative from the local community standpoint to represent you in Austin. And then, they are the people who will be doing the passing the bills and that are more relevant to us from the state standpoint. So it's very, 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 very important for you to figure out who your representative is and ensure that, you elect the right person. So as part of this, I would like to invite Matt to this interview and then, ask you questions so that you'll be able to understand a little bit more about Matt and then about the services he has done to the community. So Matt, welcome back.
Yeah, it's great. I've been looking forward to being with you.
Perfect. And then for the benefit of our viewers, can you tell a little bit about yourself, your background and your education, where you grew up and then
Yeah, sure. I actually grew up in Virginia, and I graduated from college in 1987 and came to Texas as soon as I can. I've been living in Texas since then, and I'm married to my wife, Robin. We have 3 children. Celia and Abby are my daughters, and then my son, Sam. And so Robin and I will be celebrating 27 years of marriage, and actually in a couple days. October 30th is our anniversary. So we've been blessed with some wonderful kids and a wonderful family.
Excellent. And then tell us a little bit about your community service. Not just the last 3 years as a state representative, but prior to that, you were in the Collin County doing a lot of work. So if you can share a little bit about that.
Yeah, before I entered the Texas legislature, I was a county commissioner. So I represented actually probably like the western part of Collin County. So from Plano up to the Collin County part of Frisco, Prosper, and Salina, and a little bit of McKinney. And I served as a county commissioner for 5 years. And before that, I was appointed to then Governor Rick Perry to the State Board of Social Workers. And really, I've been involved through my community, serving on city commissions. And I've always done a lot of volunteer work through my church. I still do a lot of volunteer work through my church. So yeah, I just feel a connection with my friends and neighbors in Collin County. I love serving.
Perfect. And then now for the benefit of our viewers, can you also tell the geographic location of District 66?
Yeah. So I represent the citizens of District 66, it's pretty much West Plano and far north Dallas. So my my eastern boundary is essentially Independence, the road Independence, just heading everywhere west all the way to the end of the Collin County line, kind of like Midway Road. And then my northern boundary is 121. So everything starting at 121 south all the way into Dallas up till Trinity Mills. So far north Dallas and West Plano.
Perfect. And then the other day, one thing that really impressed me is the service that you and your team has done during the COVID times. Mm-hmm. What's remarkable is that, when I was there with you, and then I saw a couple of people, 2 different people. One young gentleman, I think is in his early 30s or something like that. He came and then thanked you for making calls and then taking care of him during this COVID times from the unemployment standpoint. And there was another lady who came and then spoke about how your office has helped her. So can you tell a little bit about what your office did during these COVID times?
Yeah, normally when we're not in session, the Texas legislature meets every odd year. So we meet every 2 years for 140 days. We're down in Austin. And then when we're not in session, a lot of our workload decreases, and we do some research, do some constituent services, and those types of things. But the legislature is volunteer, so we can essentially go back to making a living. Well, with the pandemic, with COVID-19, obviously we have a lot of people that are struggling, that are hurting, and a lot of those people are struggling economically. And so, me and my staff, we really rose to the occasion and wanted to help people. We wanted to make sure people weren't going through the pandemic by themselves and weren't alone. We have a lot of job loss, obviously, with either the shutdown or slowdown of the economy. Significant amount of job loss nationwide, but even here in Texas, up to 2 million people at one point. So yeah, we've had the opportunity to serve our constituents with the COVID-19 crisis, either connecting several hundred people to nonprofit organizations that provided financial support, with the people that might have been struggling with utilities, with rent, with groceries, those types of things. Several great nonprofits that have been established to help people. And then, we also helped, I think the number is close to 1,000 people just to get their unemployment benefits. As you can imagine, a significant number of people in the state of Texas filed for unemployment all at once. And so we had a lot of constituents that just couldn't get through to the Texas Workforce Commission, which is the state agency that manages the unemployment benefits. And so, we were able to help a significant number of people get their unemployment. We've helped countless people. I talked to several, single moms that were going to be evicted in a couple of days, and we were able to get them the financial support that they needed. And this COVID-19, it's taught us a lot of things. I think the best thing is for us to be united and be together as a community, and we'll get through this as a community, as a state, and as a nation, being together.
Perfect. 1,000 families is really astounding. That's really, really great. Thanks for the service that you and your office have provided to the community, especially during the COVID-19 times. The March through May, they have been definitely very painful. And then coming to your connect with the community, I really appreciate that. Yesterday, you were there at the opening of the Balk to Rock school. You had a very, very tight schedule, but, in spite of that, you made it. And then I've seen you in some of the Indian community events too. So tell me a little bit about your connection with the community, and then with the Indian and the Asian community, and then how you plan to rally them as you move forward along with you.
Yeah, I've actually had a long-standing relationship with the Indian community, with the Asian community. What's really exciting is they're some of the fastest-growing communities in the state of Texas. The Texas economy is booming. Obviously there's a little bit of a stall during COVID-19, but we'll pick that back up. We're recovering quite nicely. But Texas economy is growing really fast, and obviously a lot of people are moving to the state of Texas, and some of our fastest growing demographics are the Indian community, the Asian community. And so because of that, as a result of that, I've established, a lot of great relationships with different people within those communities. And it actually started back to my county commissioner days. So the Asian community, the Indian community are really no strangers to me. I've actually won some awards, and just been very supportive of the Indian community. It's just a great part of Texas. They're having such a positive impact to the state of Texas. Very family oriented. Education obviously is really, really important. Great people with great educations that really just make a significant impact to the growth of the state of Texas. What people need to realize is that the immigration of a lot of individuals, again, whether they're coming from different parts of from the nation or from outside globally, like a lot of people obviously from the Indian community, we really need that immigrant growth in Texas to continue our economic momentum, our economic growth. So the Indian community continues to be just a really important part of North Texas. And I just want to encourage the Indian community to get involved, either nonprofits, definitely significant manner with respect to civics. I mean, Gopal, you're a great example serving on the Frisco School Board. We really need more representation from the Indian community in those different avenues.
Perfect. Thanks, Matt. And then for the viewers who just tuned in, this is Gopal Ponangi interviewing Representative Matt Shaheen from District 66. As you may be aware, the early voting is on. Today was the last Sunday for from a weekend standpoint, but however, early voting is still on from tomorrow until Friday. You can look into Google to find out the exact timings and locations. Plus, the actual voting is on November 3rd. So, in case you have not voted or any of your friends have not voted, please make sure that they go out and then vote. And as I said earlier, it's very, very important to ensure that the people that are representing us at the state level and then of course at the school board level and then the city level, they are very important because they have most direct impact on you. So because of that, I'm interviewing Matt so that you'll have an opportunity to understand about his position, his background, and then what he plans to do for us in his fourth term. So Matt, coming back to this election, so can you tell a little bit, a brief this thing about what are the timings from tomorrow until this Friday?
Yeah. So like you said, early voting is Monday through Friday, and the polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Come by. I'm at those polls that 12-hour period every day, and I really love for people just to come up and wave and say hi. But yeah, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. those polls are open.
Perfect. And then Matt, the previous legislative session, we have seen some great strides from the education standpoint. And from the next session that will be starting in January. So what will be your priorities that you'll be working on?
Yeah, last session really was a great one on education. We need to continue that. Education is a big priority in the state of Texas. It's our biggest line item, and obviously education is important to the future of Texas and developing of our workforce. So next legislative session will build upon the successes there. The other things that we'll be dealing with is obviously with COVID, the budget will be a big deal this next legislative session. The COVID and its impact on the economy does put at risk some of the amount of revenue that we'll have to work with when we budget next session. Now, here's the good news is, the Texas legislature has been very good stewards with the taxpayers' money, and we actually have a rainy day fund that we call of about $11 billion. And so we can make sure that all those important positions that the state provides, of course, the funding of education, but also our criminal justice system, healthcare, making sure our streets are safe with law enforcement, those types of things. We'll be able to sufficiently fund those areas of state government. And so that'll be really, really big focus. There's a lot of states, I'm not sure how they're going to do it. They have massive deficits with not a rainy day fund like we do. It'll also be a redistricting session, which is very important. And what that means is that of course, every 10 years, the United States does a census, and each of the legislatures, the 50 states, take that census data and we redraw our lines. So we redraw the congressional lines, of course, our Texas House lines, our Senate House districts. And what's important about that, what's exciting about it is Texas, because of our growth, we're going to get another additional 3 U.S. congressional seats. And so we'll be drawing those. So it's going to be an exciting time. But so redistricting, continuing our momentum on education. We're going to do some healthcare, take some action on healthcare to expand access or reduce costs there. So lots of things are going to be going on. It's going to be a historic session.
Perfect. And then one of the things that caught my attention just before you were speaking is that you spoke about a lot of involvement is needed from the community.
Yeah.
And last time when we met, you also spoke about the opportunities for youngsters to do the internship and other things.
Yeah.
So can you tell a little bit about that so that the youth can be part of this stream, understand how it works, and then take advantage of the situation?
Yeah, we have, and I love doing this. My office has established what we call our Student Leadership Council. And what we do is we take high school students and we introduce them to different levels of government. So whether it's the city council, the school board, the county government, but probably I think the most exciting thing is we take all these high school students down to the Capitol, and they get a behind the scenes look at the legislative process. We actually take all these students and we actually take them onto the House floor, and they can sit at the desk where the members of the Texas House of Representatives sit, do their work, and of course, vote. So we take them onto the floor. We take them behind the scenes in some areas of the Capitol, make sure they understand how the legislative process works here in Texas. And then we also introduce them to some state leaders. We had the last legislative session, we had the Supreme Court Justice for the Texas Supreme Court come and speak. And so it's really an exciting opportunity. The Speaker of the House came and spoke with them also. So the parents, of course, are also welcome. We gear it towards the high school students, ages 9 through 12, or grades 9 through 12. And it's a phenomenal experience for the students. So all people have to do is either call my office or send me an email. All that information is on my website, or they can Google it and just express interest for their child, or if a student wants to reach out to us, that's great too. But it's really a fantastic program. I love doing it. We have some such Gopal, I know you know because you're a member of the school board. We have some great. I'm really excited about this generation and what the impact that they're going to have on our state and on our nation. We just have some phenomenal youngsters, and I just love interacting with them.
Perfect. And then I love interacting with you. You're so accessible to the community. You're available to help. And then, especially helping 1,000 or more families during the COVID time is phenomenal. And then I really appreciate the service that you are doing to the community. I wish you good luck with this campaign, with these elections. And then hope to have you back as a victorious leader serving for the 4th term at this as a congressional, the state representative, District 66. So once again, before we wrap this call, I would like you to give your message to the community about your background, for some of us who have just tuned in, about your background and then what you stand for, and then, some information about the early voting times, the start and end time, so that people will plan to vote the following week.
Yeah, I'm so honored to, I just love serving our community, as you know, Gopal, and I know you do too. I'm honored to serve in the Texas House of Representatives. I've been there for 3 terms. I'm in the middle of an election to serve a 4th term. Early voting is all this week through Friday. Polls are open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I'm going to be out there at the polls. Come by and say hi. And of course, Election Day is November 3rd. And let me just, the things that I stand for is really just keeping Texas a shining beacon, not only to the rest of the nation, but really the world. So many people come to Texas to raise their family, for opportunities, for jobs. It's just a wonderful place to live, especially the North Texas area, especially Collin County and Denton County, the surrounding area. And I really want to fight to keep it that way, preserve our way of life. It's safe. It's just a great family environment. Education is so important. And so, there's a lot of things that I get to do as a state representative, but really just interacting with people on a daily basis. I love it. So I hope the people that are listening, when they get out and vote, that they come up and say hi to me. And let me give you, I do this all the time. I'm going to give everybody my cell phone number. And if you need to call me, if you need anything, or just want to call and say hi, my cell phone number is 214-448-8316. That rings this phone right here, and would be happy to talk to you. As Gopal said, I am accessible. I'll always be accessible. That's the best way that I can serve everybody in my district. So Gopal, thank you so much. Again, happy to shout out to everybody, all the people that are tuning in, and I've enjoyed this time together.
Perfect. Matt, thank you so much. You've been out at the polls all day, but you took some time to come to talk to me and the community. I really appreciate that. I wish you nothing but success, and then I'm looking forward to have you back here in our program as a victorious candidate from District 66. So wishing you good luck, and have a great day, great evening.
Okay,
Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.